in recognition of Earth Day in April of 2018 and for a community service project for Cal State LA and my public health class. We're going to see how much trash we can load up today in my Prius and in beautiful city of San Jacinto, California, which is surrounded by beautiful mountains, and we're the next town over from Palm Springs. So we're going to go down Sanderson Road today and find out how much trash there happens to be on our roads.
To get ready for a project like this, obviously you're going to need trash bags, and since we're out in the middle of the desert, it's important to remain really well hydrated, especially with the bright sun that we get out here. I also decided to buy a product called Easy Reacher because when you're going in unfamiliar areas and you're trying to collect trash, we have a lot of snakes out here, and to avoid any injury, I bought this product. And of course, when I was at the store, the cashier didn't ask me, and of course I got the obligatory trash bag that's known to accumulate in the environment. Obviously, when you're doing a project like this, it's very important to make sure that you recycle your water bottles, that any type of product packaging that I wish was more biodegradable ends up in its proper place, because the whole idea here is that we're trying to improve the environment and not add more waste to it. As you can see, we get a lot of traffic here on Sanderson Road, and as I pulled over to start picking up trash, believe it or not, there's a truck that went by me and left all this trash. I can't believe it, but it blew off the back of the vehicle, and there's styrofoam everywhere. And of course, when it comes to styrofoam, it doesn't really biodegrade. It just gets more minuscule. So it's easy for other species of fish and whatever to be accumulating this stuff. It's called bioaccumulation, and it's really not a great thing. But this is farmland that we have out here in San Jacinto. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the mountains. This particular mountain right there is known as the San Jacinto Mountain, and the other side of that is the beautiful city of Palm Springs, California. So this kind of provides context, and you can see we got trash here, got trash everywhere. It's kind of a crazy ride, and I'm curious to see if this guy's really going to come back and pick up his stuff. Really don't know, but we'll find out. And you were doing the right thing, because you were trying to bring everything up to the trash site up there in Riverside Trash Dump.
That's right.
Yeah, well, we get a lot of trash around here.
People are waking up, man, and that's what's good, you know? I love that.
Yeah, they are. That's cool. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Friend, you have a great one, man. Blessings to you.
Thank you. Take care. Good luck.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir.
I decided to move to a safer area because there's really not a lot of places to park on Sanderson Road. But you can see all of the trash that is coming off of vehicles, and we got everything here. Some of those, here's like one of those pesky bags that I got at the store before I started. So I think this pretty much provides more information and more detail just about how much trash that you really don't see when you're going down the freeway, and how it is that folks just don't try to hang on to this stuff and put it where it's supposed to go. There's a couple things that I didn't realize when I started this project, and that is the, again, non-biodegradability of plastics and how it breaks down over time. Because what's happening is that you get all of these really small little pieces of plastic that keep breaking down further and further, and it's very difficult and extremely time consuming to get this stuff off the ground. So that's one of the things that I noticed, but this is a marked improvement over what we had previously, and this is something that took me some time. And I can understand how, when we're trying to restore the environment, not only is it expensive, but it's incredibly time consuming. For example, some of these natural plants have thorns on them, And if you get like a ethylene vinyl acetate packaging material, which is very common in the electronics business, what happens is that stuff starts breaking down and those thorns grasp that stuff. So it takes forever to pick it out. And that consumed more time than I could have possibly imagined. So I'm just kind of trying to give you an overview of, you think you're going to make a lot of progress and fill up the car with a lot of stuff, and you're finding out, wait a minute, there's a lot more to this than just taking a trash bag and some easy grips and coming out and picking this stuff off. But you can see it is significantly better. One of the things that I noticed was that someone in their infinite wisdom decided to do an oil change, of course, or at least fill their car with oil, and decided to leave a used oil container at this entranceway to a farm. So that's what we found out, and also some errant automobile parts. So at the moment, I'm an hour and a half into my project, and this is all the trash that I was able to pick out of the brush and off this driveway. And there were some other things in there, a lot of food stuff. I found some things like marital aids, like condoms that were used. I found one, which was pretty gross. But I think people are just choosing to be careless. This is a very busy intersection that we have that's been going through a lot of construction activity here in San Jacinto. If you make a left on that intersection, it heads you out to Moreno Valley on the way to the 60 freeway. But I always notice when I'm taking this road how much trash there is everywhere. And I am surprised because I just drive by this stuff every day, and when I got out of the car, of course, there's trash right there. So I'm going to do a little bit more work because I feel like I've not accomplished enough. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how much more I can get. Well, this is all I was able to accomplish after working 3 hours today. I really thought that there would be so much more that I could load up my car with, but unfortunately, the reduction of the plastic that actually gets wrapped into the yarrow and into the tumbleweed and the bramble that is on this intersection is very difficult to remove. But you can see that I did make progress in terms of getting some of this put into a trash bag, and it looks a little bit cleaner. One of the things that I was really surprised about was the sheer number of beer cans and beer bottles that were located in this area. And the local county highway patrol actually has a sobriety checkpoint after this intersection, which they normally do on the weekends, which is a great thing because we have so many fatalities up here due to alcohol abuse and substance abuse. And it's great that they do this, but I think people think that they can ditch the evidence before they get pulled over to get breathalyzed. But one of the other things that I found was used diapers. I also found one bag of trash that someone decided to deposit along the side of the road instead of taking it home with them. And, I really pretty much arrived at one conclusion, which is you don't necessarily have to go down to your local beach to pick up trash to feel good about what you're doing for the environment. You could do these types of projects right in your own community and have a tremendous impact on how to clean up your local environment. This stuff that I'm finding is really not a good thing, and primarily because of the fact that these plastics get so embrittled from the sunlight that they're nearly impossible to remove. And the other thing that people don't realize when they throw beer bottles outside of their vehicle is that creates a source of ignition for brush fires. So that has happened out here quite a bit. As a matter of fact, we had a very large one here last year because of that actually made the national news. So people, please be aware of where you're throwing your trash. Take it home with you, put it where it's supposed to go. Please do not leave it along the side of the road, and don't leave it in our city. But that is really the takeaway that I get from doing this project. I'm just disappointed that I couldn't do a lot more, but that's what I was able to achieve today. Thank you.